Hey, down in front, asshole!
Hey, what's up, everybody? We just got finished watching the new Obsession. All right.
The new Obsession? It's just
Hey,
called
guys. We just got done watching this new movie called Obsession. And I think only now, like maybe an hour later, am I totally calm, like back to calm.
Yeah.
That movie had me on edge,
Hold on.
and it scratched an itch that I didn't know I had for horror.
Should we do Letterboxd?
Sure.
Yeah.
I didn't get a chance, but I guess you can go first. Beau, as always.
Well, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
4.5. That's a high.
I thoroughly
rating.
enjoyed it. I thought it was it had some genuinely scary moments.
Yeah.
But it was also I'm not usually a big fan of like horror comedies. They usually kind of just piss me off if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But I feel like the balance between comedy and horror and Obsession was done really, really well. And I also feel like the way that they used comedy in the movie, it wasn't distracting from the fact that it was a horror movie. It kind of added to the horror elements because it was like you didn't like it was almost like a nervous response to laugh instead of like, oh, that was hilarious. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
It was like the parts that made you laugh were kind of a release from the tension.
Yes. I'd give it a 4. I think it was a very good movie. For a horror movie, I thought it was extremely good. There was a very lack of jump scares. I mean, I think there was one where it just played a loud noise, but I didn't really consider it a jump scare. As you know, I'm a jump scare hater. But yeah, no, it was very intense, very frightening at times. I did like how it was shot. Like I thought like there was some like kind of like unique like I don't know movements. Like there was like some interesting.
Yeah, there was some weird shit.
I don't know exactly what was done, but I thought it was very interesting.
So you guys might be surprised. I gave this movie a 5 out of 5.
Oh.
And the main reason being is that it captured a feeling within myself that I haven't felt in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
The reason that I used to love horror movies and the reason why I couldn't stop watching horror movies is because I would find films that, like, as a younger
little
Jacob,
boy,
as
a little boy.
Yeah, I would be
weenie.
on the edge of my seat. Like I would be just like almost not wanting to go forward because of just anticipation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very real feeling, and it's something that I look for in horror movies, and a lot of times I don't find anymore. Is it because there's not as many good ones now, or is it because I'm just desensitized? Probably a mixture of both.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie gave me a feeling of anxiety throughout the majority of it. And
I highly agree with that statement.
Like,
yeah, there
I
was never
couldn't-
really a calm point after it took
No.
off.
Yeah,
It takes off after like 20 minutes.
Once it starts, by the end of the movie, I was like this, just like fully stressed. Like, I don't know. I was like literally like, I've never felt like that during a movie. It was just like fully like let it end.
Yeah.
Like I was literally like,
yeah, like I felt like I had to like take a breath and just like
And
chill.
a thing that I noticed that was like interesting is I could almost predict what was coming next, but that almost made it worse.
Yeah.
Like I was sitting there like
the car scene.
I know what's coming. I'm like, and I can't believe that like, oh, just stop. Like you can't stop it, and that's why it's so stressful. I think the only time I've ever felt that is watching Revenge of the Sith. Anytime afterwards, where you're like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Well, and I think part of what made it was almost like fun, like anticipating what was going to come next because the gradual like increase in the insanity. Oh my God, like it was a wild ride. Absolutely wild ride. I thought the performances from
Cooper, I think he did good. The two leads.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
What's his name? It's
Bear.
Yeah, Bear
Whoever played
and
Bear
Nikki.
and Nikki.
I know their names in real life. I just can't remember. But yeah, their performances were great. I assume that we will probably see a lot more from Nikki's character in upcoming horror movies.
For sure.
If she has even like one more performance like that one, she will probably solidify herself as like a modern scream queen, which is fucking awesome. I mean, she killed it.
Yeah.
She killed it.
It was great, like from the sporadic. And what I thought was cool about her performance in particular is obviously she had that spell from the wish thing like put on her, and so she was obsessed with him. But there was like little moments where she like
Snaps out of it.
and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god!"
Yes.
And
Yes.
she can tell. I mean, or rather, you can tell that there's moments where like she comes back and she sees what's going on.
Yes.
But then it goes back to possessed.
One of the scariest moments in the movie to me was the first time that happens,
Oh
where
yeah.
they're making out.
Are they in her?
And
They're in his
scary
yes,
shit.
bed.
and be. First of all, like, obviously you know that she's like under the spell of something,
yeah.
but like
Yeah.
you don't know that there's like two of her.
Yeah.
Where it's like the other part of her is like laying dormant
Mhm.
while this other part takes on. And then that part where she's in the bed and he sneaks off and she asks him to kill her.
While the
Yes, that's her coming back
Well,
a little bit
That shit was wild.
while her tainted self is asleep.
yes,
Yes.
That one,
It's like, don't wake her. Yeah.
that one gripped me.
that
yeah.
one was
And
creepy.
it also, because like one would probably say that the main antagonist throughout the movie is Nikki, but I would say Bear,
Is just as equally.
he's just as guilty, and not even necessarily because he initiated the wish, because he didn't
He
think that would
let it
work.
keep going on.
He let it continue because this is like his dream girl, and he couldn't like bring himself to put it to an end. And he probably could have early on and
Oh, for
saved
sure.
everybody.
Well, but how?
Well,
Taking her to a
if he
psych
would have looked
ward
into
or-
it and not avoided it for so long, because at first he's just like, "What's so crazy about us being together? Oh, we're just happy." Blah, 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 blah. But it's like, dude, you knew something was going on.
for sure.
You knew
Yeah.
something was going on from the first night.
You
True.
literally told.
But it is told very early on that the only way to
There's another way.
before that
is
it was
to kill
himself.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I mean, I guess outside of like institutionalizing
That's
her,
what I was
like,
thinking. That's how
yeah.
I thought it was gonna end.
Well, he's faced with
Yeah.
a decision: do I kill myself and forfeit my dreams of being with this
Right.
girl that I have loved for however long it
Right.
was,
Right.
or do I love her enough that I want her to live out actual reality?
Or am
and
I
truth?
so selfish
Right.
that
Is that really
it's-
love?
Right.
Or is
right.
it an obsession?
Yep. Yep.
Ooh.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was.
I thought it was really
Great.
good.
Yeah. And I really appreciated the use of, like, there were certain scenes where the camera just kind of lingered on Nikki
Yeah.
for longer than it
Yes.
needed to.
It
Yeah.
made
and
it
just-
creepier.
You're just waiting for something to
It's
happen.
like the end of a news interview where the camera hangs on to
Yeah.
the reporter for too long.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this is awkward now.
and she's just like,
Yeah. I'll tell you what freaked me the fuck out. Like, honestly, like, sent a chill down my spine.
what was it? What sent a chill down your spine?
The duct tape door.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the
They turned around.
reveal.
The way they did that, because it was like he turned around, you don't
Yes.
see what he's looking at,
Yes.
and I thought it was like he came to a realization with Nikki or something, and then it flips the camera, and you just see the entire door is
Yes.
duct tape.
That
She just
sent
acted like it
a
wasn't there the
chill
whole time.
down my spine.
Anything with the cat,
Yeah. Yep.
the him eating the cat shrine,
Yeah.
all of it.
And then him going home and being like,
Let's
"You can't
not-
do that." That really upset me.
You no cooking the cat,
or when
Nikki.
she cut his hair and he goes, Let's
not
not do that.
It's so good.
That
It's
was
so
good.
good.
let's not do that.
And that's what I mean by like the use of comedy. I thought was really well done because there have been movies that utilize comedy like Weapons. My
Yeah.
main gripe with Weapons is
Yeah.
that there are multiple moments in Weapons where like it's a very high tension moment. and then out of fucking nowhere is like this like joke, and it just completely like
Because they're trying too hard, I think.
it just the like random comedy bits like completely take me out of the horror vibe, because like it'll be working, like the scares will work, the tension works, I'm on the edge of my seat, and then it just all crashes with like this comedic moment. But in Obsession, the comedic moments come from mostly Bear's like reactions
Oh yeah.
to what Nikki's doing, or the like over the top craziness of Nikki's stuff. So it's like it never really feels like, oh, they're just tossing in a joke. It's more so like, this is fucking batshit
This is
crazy.
insane.
Like,
It's
yeah.
like sort of based in reality. It's like, how would you react if your girlfriend was acting like that?
Right,
Probably
yeah.
like Bear did. You'd probably be like, "Are you okay? What? Like seriously, what the fuck is going on?"
Let's not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that wins one of the quote. Do you think that wins quote of the
I
movie?
think I put it in my Letterboxd review.
Is that quote of the movie? Is let's not do that.
Yeah, that's
To
hilarious.
There was so
to
many good
somebody
ones.
cutting your hair while you're asleep.
Did you cut my hair?
Yeah.
Let's not.
Let's do that again.
I don't think there was again. I think he literally just said, "Let's not
let's
do
not
that."
do that.
Oh, is that what it was?
Let's
Oh.
not do that. Like, I don't think that's a
But
tame reaction to something like that.
Oh yeah.
I would like to talk about the car scene with Sarah.
Oh, I knew
Because
it was coming.
that's
Once
what-
I
that's
heard
the
that
best
music
part.
playing,
Well, the best part is, you know
she's
that
dead.
something terrible is
You know
going to
she's
happen.
dead.
You knew something was going to happen, and then when it happens, it's still like after she got her face absolutely obliterated. I'm just sitting there like
See,
like almost as if it was such a shock, even though I knew it was coming.
See, that is a proper way to use music. They played Current Joys, and it was like, oh, it's this romantic, great moment. And then once it builds up, the first time it's like, okay, this is romantic. We're kind of starting it off easy with a horror movie, and then eventually, the crazy thing happens in the bed, and he like scares her. And then the next time you hear it, you know something is about to go wrong.
They do it throughout the whole movie,
Exactly.
where it's like it's a light background music that's jolly or whatever, and then it morphs into this like dark, creepy, like atmospheric like music. And but the thing is, like, sometimes I feel like in a movie, like it'd be like, okay, you're giving away your scare.
Yeah,
because like now I know something's about to happen.
That's not.
It works
entirely
really
bad.
well in Obsession.
Because well, the thing is, usually in something like that, you know exactly what's gonna happen next. There, it was like, I know she's gonna show up.
Mhm.
I was not expecting her to bash her face into a brick 30 times in a row,
Right.
and then it just lingering on it, where it just keeps going, and then you just like
See her eyeball poking out of her
Yeah,
smashed
it's
skull.
fucking crazy.
That shook me.
Dude, when
tremendously.
she tattoos herself
I didn't even notice it until
to
you
look
pointed
like
it
her,
out.
yeah, to look like Sarah.
Oh my god.
And it's-
I loved like all the little things they did. Whether it was like at one point, like she's got like a necklace on with a bee on it,
Oh,
and
yeah,
like
for-
it's just all kinds of stuff like that. Like I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
meticulous.
Yeah.
And I also appreciate the way that once she's under the spell,
Mhm.
I was afraid it was going to be like, oh my God, I'm so obsessed. And it's so obvious. But you're still kind of don't know how she's reacting to it.
Yeah.
Like, as it's happening, it's still so, like, not clear what's
Mhm.
going on. Even though you know what's going on, you're still like, is she, like, did it kick in? It kind of seems like she doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I appreciated that. This movie is anything but predictable.
See, a movie that I found, or like when I was watching it, the kind of horror that it reminded me of was the Creep movie that you showed us. Was it Creep? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It reminded me of that because it wasn't like entirely like scary. It was more, it's building that intensity up until the last 30 to 45 minutes of the movie. For like the first hour, nothing really scary happens except for that one, like in the bed.
Eerie. It
was
was eerie
eerie,
because
yes.
like whenever they're at the music store
Yeah.
and you see in the background that she's just staring at him the entire time, like
Yeah.
it was building up the entire time. And then the ending, I fucking thought the ending was great too.
Oh yeah.
It was.
yes.
I mean,
That's exactly how a movie like that should end.
yeah,
Great ending. I like how it was like, you know she's gonna snap out of it when he takes the pills.
yep.
But
Yep.
you don't expect her to then proceed to do a wish on him, and then now you're like, oh, he's about to die, and she's gonna wake up to not only all of her friends are dead, but
Yeah.
one of them is face is fully mutilated, one shot in the head, and the other one died of a drug. Like,
Well, and I'm just now thinking about this too, but had he
not.
overdosed,
Yep.
right? And she hadn't made the wish
Yeah.
as the possessed Nikki, she could have hypothetically wished for like all of it to have gone back to normal.
That is one of the things I wasn't expecting. There's two ways I thought it was gonna end. Him dying, or I thought he was gonna try to get her to make a wish where it was like, wish that we were all back however many days
right,
previously.
right. But now she can't.
And now she can't.
Now
So
she
that's why I was
can't,
like,
yeah.
I thought it
Yeah.
might have been some like time kind of movie where it's like, now it ends right where the movie began. I thought that could have been interesting. Where it's like, now we're back in the car.
Right.
Now it's back to him where it's
Right.
like, do you like me?
Right.
But that's
And
another.
then it's easy for him to go, no.
No. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right,
And then that's
right.
where it cuts. But I also do like
I
how the
think we should
credits
stay friends.
I do like how the credits rolled and you could just hear her sobbing in the
Yeah.
background.
Yep.
I thought that made that like cherry on top.
Well, first of all, let me make a couple of parallels. That parallel at the end is sort of. I got a frame here. It's sort of like Romeo and Juliet, but
Mhm.
more fucked up. So
Oh, yeah.
you're familiar with the end of Romeo and Juliet.
They both die.
They both die. One of them thinks that the other one's dead and then kills themselves, and the other one wakes up from their deathly sleep, sees that they're dead,
yeah.
and then kills themselves.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So this one is even worse because she makes the wish. They are like both obsessed with each other, madly in love again. Then he dies. She almost kills herself, but then comes to, almost like Juliet waking up and seeing her dead love, except this is fucked up. He's not my real love. And then she just is sobbing.
Drops the body off of her. Like
Because
it
what
rolls
does
him
she
off
do
of her.
now? Yeah.
Yeah.
You
exactly.
know at the end of the like if that movie continued, she's in prison.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
There's no other
Or a
explanation.
psych ward for the rest of her life.
Here's another parallel, though, that I think you guys will appreciate. This is what I was thinking of earlier, and you told me not to forget it. So they make a wish and break a piece of wood.
Yes.
Not unlike in Weapons, the spell is her wrapping someone's hair and
Mhm.
breaking the piece of
Mhm.
wood.
So are we going back to witchcraft?
I mean, it was in one of those Wiccan crystal shops that he found it.
Yep.
So we're back to witchcraft.
I don't remember if I mentioned this in the last episode or not.
Yeah.
I know that I talked about this with somebody recently, but I don't remember if it was on the episode. But
Yeah.
another thing that that Obsession did that has been a trend in like these modern horror movies that I am kind of a fan of is think Weapons, think
Mhm.
Obsession, think Talk to Me, think Bring Her Back. In all of these movies, there is like one scene, one big scene where there is like
The gross.
the fucking like the
You did talk
head
about this last
smashing
time, yeah.
obsession,
And that's what makes
the
it
head
rated R.
smash and Talk to Me,
Mhm.
the knife in the mouth scene and Bring Her Back, the kids demolishing
lady at the end of
yeah,
Weapons,
yeah. What's your Gladys at the end of
Mhm.
Weapons? Like it's like there's this one big moment that you're not gonna forget that you're gonna be talking about,
Mhm.
and it's
Yeah.
like
Yes.
it's really effective because like without that scene,
Mhm.
the movie still would have been great.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
with that scene, now it's a great horror movie with that scene that everybody's gonna be talking about.
Oh yeah.
And I think that scene was masterfully placed in the movie because throughout the movie, you're like in this limbo of like just anticipation. And so many times, like those shots of her, and it's just a little too long on her face, or just like you don't know what she's going to do, and you're just in this constant state of anticipation. And then you get to the car scene, and you're just, by that point, you're kind of like used to being in this like fight or flight state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tense. You're always
When-
like,
Because nothing like that has happened up to this point.
Right.
And then when she gets her face obliterated, you're just like, oh, dear God. Okay, this is what I've been like.
this is what I thought it was
mentally
going to be like
preparing for,
earlier
and it
on.
finally happens, and now it's fucked.
Yep.
And it's,
Yes, for sure.
I was shook.
Oh,
when I saw
yeah,
it.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
If you had one of those what are they called?
Wishing Willow.
A wishing willow, what would be your wish? If you even would make one.
Is it Wishing Willow or One Wish Willow?
One
One
wish
Wish
willow.
Willow.
One
Okay.
Wish Willow.
One Wish Willow.
So what would your wish be? Because, was it Ian? He made $1 million? Is that his name? Or billion?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fucking funny.
That's so... I wish for $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's real!
Starts raining.
It's
Fucking.
real!
Yeah.
Well,
That was funny.
And then it just shows Bear's face, and he's like...
Pissed. He's like, you fucked it all
The
up.
best part is, that's another part where they lingered on. They
Yeah.
let that money flow
Yeah.
thing for so
Yeah.
long where he
Yeah.
just...
You just see the defeat in his face.
Yeah.
He's like, you just fucked it, you asshole. And now you see it.
And
He
then,
still feels bad about it.
then when he's like in the house with Nikki, and you just hear Ian,
It's
"He's got $1
real.
million!"
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
real. Yeah. That was funny.
I'll
what
let him go first, but I have two answers.
I don't
for
have
you.
one yet, so you go first.
So I have an answer that I will appease your question for the sake of the question
Okay.
because it's a fun question.
Yeah.
And then I'll give you my real world answer.
Okay, cool. Two
Let me give you
different.
my real world answer
Yeah.
first. If I went into a shop like that and I saw a thing that supposedly grants you one wish
I would
and
not.
it comes true, I would just put that shit back because I've seen too many movies and shows where some unforeseen bullshit happens,
Mhm.
and if you're not specific enough, it'll get you on a loophole and you'll be a miserable fuck. And you'll wish you never made the wish in the first place. So I would just put that shit back and never have. I would have just got her a crystal necklace and tried to be myself.
My real world answer would be, I wouldn't have bought it in the first place.
Yeah,
It's
$6.99. Yeah, same. That's exactly what I was thinking. That's dude, I can walk outside and grab a fucking tree branch, dude. I'm good.
You know what I'll do? I'll go get a penny and I'll go toss into a wishing
Yeah,
well.
I was thinking that exact same thing. I don't know. I
didn't see that till later, but that's a hella expensive for a little piece of wood. What a scam.
piece of wood that
Well,
you
it's
don't
a pretty
even know
powerful piece of
works.
wood.
Like,
But,
yes,
like,
yeah, but
If I was to walk past that in a store normally, I'd be like, that's a joke. Like,
Yeah.
I know that doesn't work.
Novelty.
And $6.99 ain't no way.
which is why they get away with it because most people are just like, you're crazy, you know.
Yeah.
So
Oh, also, speaking of which, the cameo by Curry Barker himself,
yeah, he was
As-
As the clerk.
yeah,
Yeah.
on the telephone.
Yep.
that was cool.
Yeah, on the.
Oh wait, that was him on the phone.
that was him on
Yeah.
the phone.
You couldn't tell in his voice. He's
Oh.
like, oh yeah, we don't really.
No,
No,
you
okay,
can
so
tell-
what is? I don't know Curry Barker.
He's blonde.
He does. So
He
the-
does like skits.
the guy that played the protagonist's friend,
Yep.
Yeah.
Cooper. I think
Yeah,
that's
it's
his name.
Cooper. Yeah.
Thought it was
In real
Ian.
life, his name's Cooper.
Oh, his real
Oh.
name's Cooper. That's right. He makes those guys were like a duo. Like they
Yeah.
were all over TikTok,
So they
Instagram
met-
Reels.
See, now this is the other thing that's
They met
happening
in-
right now.
The thing is, they met in college, and then, like,
Oh, I didn't
within
know
a
that.
month or two of knowing each other, they moved in together, and they started their comedy series the same day they met each other.
That's kind of crazy. It's kind of like what we're doing with the podcast.
It's really odd.
huh?
This is another trend in these horror movies that it's paying off. Like you would think just hearing the idea, you'd be like, okay, but a lot of these new directors, like, is it, what's his name? I can't remember the guy's name. The guy that made Weapons and that made Barbarian
Mhm.
used to do Whitest Kids You Know back in the day.
Dude, that's awesome.
The guys that made the brothers that made Talk to Me, Danny and Michael Filippo or whatever, were YouTubers.
Hmm.
Like,
And now you've got it was like they did like comedy shit. Like it was like stuntmen.
I know who you're
stuff and
talking
stuff
about
like
now.
that.
No, I know who you're talking about.
And then
And they all switched to horror?
that's what they're doing. Yeah,
Interesting.
I don't. But it's working like
Do you know
really
why
well.
I think it's working. I think it's because YouTube and all of these streaming platforms that we know them from, that appeals to our generation. They know what we like.
That's true.
So that's probably why it works so well.
Right, but they could do any genre, and they're doing horror.
Well, horror is a great thing to get into. I mean, you can do horror Not always, but you can get away with making a horror movie relatively low budget. And I feel like a horror movie might be easier than a drama. Maybe I'm misspeaking. Maybe I shouldn't like downplay horror like that, but
Well, why wouldn't they?
I feel like it's a moneymaker.
Well, I think
for sure.
part of it is they learned that YouTubers who made comedy movies never succeeded. Name one YouTuber comedy movie that ever did good. And the thing is, you can't even name a single one because they never did good.
You didn't give us a chance to answer.
But I know you
But
weren't going
you're
to be able to
true.
answer because
It's true.
I can think of like 2 or 3. I know KSI did one that was apparently terrible. I know there was like some like plane one, like Flight or whatever, and it's like a plane dabbing as like the movie poster. It's awful.
A plane.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Exactly. Because you know why? Because it did
'Cause it was
terrible.
shit.
Exactly.
Sounds like it was shit.
And I think horror is something that's coming back. I think horror is having a resurgence for
Yep.
sure. And I think they all know it and they're capitalizing on that.
Well, I would say that I partly agree with that statement because yes, I do think that horror is having a resurgence and that they are aware of it and capitalizing on it. But it's also horror is having a resurgence because of these guys.
Yeah.
So it's like all, and that's not to say that all of like the modern horror movies that are coming out are like made by people that are differentiating from their source material, but like they're killing it.
Oh, for sure.
Like all of these like new ideas, and that's the other thing is all of these new movies are original. I've never seen anything like Obsession before.
No.
The only
Like I
thing
said,
that
the
like I could
closest thing-
kind of equate it to is Companion. Did you guys see
No.
Companion?
No.
It's got Dennis Quaid or no, Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid. I know
Jack Quaid, and he's got the AI robot girlfriend.
Oh, I haven't seen that one though.
I've heard of that, but I haven't seen it.
It's
haven't
pretty
seen it.
good. But like, I mean, that's like the only thing that I could kind of equate it to, and even that is completely different. And it's also really kind of a completely different movie because Companion has like a lot more like comedy aspect to
Yeah.
it, and like a few like really like violent scenes where like the AI companion like differentiates from the protocol. But like, I don't know. I think it is really, really cool to see, first of all, the interest in horror from not only just like the people going to watch the movies, but also the people making the movies.
Yeah.
Like you've got the back rooms getting ready to
I'm
come
excited
out.
for that.
We got to do one on that.
Yeah. It's a good time to be a horror fan right now.
All right. We're going to take a small little break and then we'll be right back. And we're back from our break. I know it took 2 seconds. All right. So after our break, I think we can start answering the questions of what would you do with your wish? What would your not your real world answer be? Said you had one that wasn't real world.
Oh yeah, and then the one that is just good for the juicy ass question.
Just for fun. You don't have to take it serious, but I would like to see if I can think of anything where it could go wrong. So just think of something. I'd be like, yeah, I'll do that.
I'd probably wish to never have to worry about like financial issues. Like I would want to be able to do whatever it was that like if I wanted to go and spend the year in another country or something like that, like I would want to be able to do that.
Okay, so what would your sentence be? Because that's part of it. You have to build the sentence.
Probably something along the lines of like I wish I never had to worry about financial burden or something like that.
Boom. Now you don't have any worries about it, but you don't have any money.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I mean?
I guess
But I
you're
mean, if
right,
you don't
yeah.
have any need for money, then,
Well, then-
who cares?
If you don't have any, yeah. I think it would be more along the
I
lines.
just become like a Zen monk.
Would you want to be like,
That'd be
exactly?
cool.
Would you want to be like, I want to have $1 billion that nobody knows about and that isn't taxable? Like something like that.
Right.
Like you would have to like really get into the nitty gritty. If it's something like that, you really have to be specific.
So what's yours?
Exactly. I was thinking somewhere along the lines. Definitely money. Money's always along the lines because everybody wants money. Or obviously,
Unfortunately, it's a big deal.
yeah. Unfortunately, everybody needs money. But also, like, would I want to do something cool with it? Would I be like, hey, the thing is, like, oh, I want to have superpowers. And what are the negatives? I think it would take me a long time to really build out the exact word structure that you need. I think you got to get down to the nitty gritty. You got to
Gotta
make
be
sure
specific.
what you're saying isn't going to come back and screw you over.
Right.
I think that's a very valuable lesson from movies like these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jacob, what would yours be? I'm going to.
It's tough. Mine, I'll say what it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be anything to do with money.
No
And
money.
the reason why is, do you know that the rates of suicide after someone wins the lottery are alarming? Because needing money gives you a sense of purpose that you might not otherwise have if you didn't need it. Or
That's
if you had so
true.
much of it that you didn't, like, I don't know. It's the same reason why I don't know if I'd ever want to win the lottery.
That's part of why I'm not saying a dollar amount though. Like it's
Yeah.
not that I want to like be given $1 billion. It's that like I would want to be able to go do something that I wanted to go do without having to be like, can't do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But then I feel like eventually, if you could just do whatever you want, then it'll get boring really quick.
It could.
It could.
It
But it also
could,
depends
yeah.
on what you do with that money. Or what you do.
That's the other thing. Like, yeah, like you could like go into Best Buy and like find a kid and be like, yo, dude, you want a PS5?
You literally could just be Mr. Beast.
You could. I was gonna say
on
Mr. Beast.
steroids. Like literally, like everything to the max because money is legitimately not an issue.
I would wish
Right.
for being better than Mr. Beast.
I would just wish to be Mr. Beast.
I
Jimmy
wish
Beast.
I had a stack that every time I reach my hand into it, I could pull out $100. Every single time. That's all it is. Just a stack that I put my hand into, and pull out $100 whenever I want. Because then at that point, I don't need to take out money unless I need to pull out $100, and then I could. Oh, if I need more than $100, pull out a couple more,
Right.
and then bada bing, bada boom.
Ooh,
then-
you know what? You know what I think I would do now that we're thinking about this?
Yeah.
I would wish that like something along the lines of like every pound I lift, I get $1.
Okay.
Or
so
something like
so
that
then
to
it
where
gives
you
you
have to
motivation to stay in
work. You
shape.
have to work for it.
Okay.
It's gonna be something beneficial.
But nothing crazy hard.
Right. And
But-
also
and it
not a
also-
crazy dollar amount.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
So it would give you motivation to better yourself and make
Right. $100 every mile. Or like something like that.
That's a good idea. I just thought of an answer that you two will probably hate,
World
but I'm
peace.
gonna say it anyway.
I'm kidding. It's a
Fuck
joke.
that. World peace.
Joking.
Yeah. Okay. No, if I found one of those one wish, what is it called?
One wish Willie.
One
Willow.
One
Willow.
wish Willie.
One
You
wish
just rub your
Willie.
willy and it grants
One
any
wish
wish you
Willie.
want.
One wish Willie.
If I found a one wish willow, I would wish that one wish willow never existed,
wow.
so that no one would have to
Here's
incur
the-
the curse.
See,
of
now
one
here's
wish
the
willow.
paradox,
Now,
though.
I was about to get into that.
Here's the paradox. It doesn't work, does it?
No, because you get rid of it, and then how is it supposed to get rid of it? You've never had one.
That's true.
Yep.
But that's true.
You're just-
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Wait. How about you wish for? There's no more one wish willows except for the one that I used right now to wish that there isn't any more
Yeah,
one wish willows.
It's specific. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what
That's
I would
how
do.
Don't
you'd
you
have-
think though that if like you
What if you just wished for infinite or a two wish willow, or then a three wish willow?
Two wish willow.
don't you think if you made that wish 5 seconds later you'd be like, I
Aw.
wasted my fucking wish?
I definitely
Well,
would think that.
Let me pose
But then
a
the
counter
thing
argument
is,
to that
is it-
though,
What if
because
You'd spend
Let-
the
let
rest
me-
of your life being like, oh, I should have said that.
yeah, maybe, but how many people did I save? This movie is just a one-off story of someone that got their hands
Sure.
on that. How many people suffered a similar fate that could have been saved by some asshole like me being like, there was never any one wish willow?
What if?
How many people did I just
Okay,
save?
but people will find another way to ruin their life.
Okay, I have a great question.
True, but I took one way out of the world. I call that a success.
I have a great question. If you were to wish that the one wish willow doesn't work, did the one wish willow work? Because
Yeah.
if they never
That's the
work,
paradox, yeah.
if they never worked, well, no, you just would never know.
It's kind of like
Because if it didn't work in the first place, you wouldn't know. And
Right.
if it does work, you wouldn't know.
you just break your brain and then the wish continues. Like,
Because then you're just like, well,
yeah.
yeah.
Did you guys think the movie was going to end differently than how it ended?
I did think I told you about the whole. I thought it was going
I
to go back
genuinely
in time. Kind
Oh,
of.
yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah.
know how I thought it was going to end. And the reason is on one hand, she could break the thing and do the wish that he wanted her to do, but why would she do that if she's obsessed with him and doesn't want to stop being in love with him? So,
What do you mean?
like that was one thing that it was going to be like his final ditch thing is to get her to make the wish that she was never in love with him.
Yeah, but why would you?
Exactly.
Because she loves him so much that she'll do anything he asks her to do. Yeah.
So is she going to do that, or is she going to
Do what she
do? Or well, I didn't even know what
I
she
didn't
did
think she
was
was gonna
so
do that.
out of like.
I didn't think.
I didn't even think of that.
I'll tell
And
you what
don't
I
know why
thought. I thought for a little bit until obviously something happened. Her name's Sarah, right?
Nikki?
No,
Sarah. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I thought that Sarah was at some point going to make a similar wish about Bear. And then
that would have been good.
Bear would have been the Nikki Sarah.
But then
What would have Nikki done? What would Nikki have done?
Don't know.
It can only good happen.
It only could happen.
I don't know. Like
I think,
but like they kept like leaning into
I still think that could have played out the same way that it ended. With that, if she made
with
that,
everybody.
Well, if she made that wish, she wished that Bear liked or was in love with Sarah. Let's say that. Now, Sarah still dies from what's it called? From Nikki, and then Bear comes back to normal, and then he's like, "I gotta undo." The same thing could have happened.
Yeah.
I feel like that was probably in the writer's room. It was like, "Oh, that'd be interesting."
Well, because they kept saying.
Then it gets these confusing. Like he was obsessed. Now he's not, and then I feel like you could lose an audience.
It's no more confusing than the ending was.
Yeah,
because we were aware that, and they say it a few times throughout the movie, that the only way to get rid of the wish is to either have somebody wish that you didn't make that wish, or you die.
Exactly.
And so, I don't know. You just explained it perfectly, where it's like, yeah, I don't know that I didn't know exactly how they would have done it, but that is what I thought was kind of coming.
The thing is, if they did it that way, it still could have ended in the exact same way.
Yeah.
It just would have been another 15, 20 minutes, and then it would have rounded it out to a 2-hour movie.
Yep.
But I think they weren't going for the let's just keep using the wish thing.
Right.
I think they wanted to keep it limited, and I think they wanted to be like the comedy aspect with Ian, where it's like, okay, $1 billion, whatever. That's just a wasted wish. And then I think they really wanted to save that wish for the twist.
Right.
Because if you're just throwing wishes at everybody, then it becomes this wish fest. And who knows? You could have asked anybody to do a wish. And then it doesn't keep it as compact.
Right.
I also think that there's a psychological aspect to this movie. And that is when you're dating someone new, when you're talking to someone new, what's the thing in the back of your mind? God, I hope this person's not crazy.
Yeah.
I hope they're not out of their mind.
That was me when I moved in with you guys.
Right, exactly.
I hope they're not out of their mind.
Little do you know that we're going to kill you. But that's always in the back of your mind when you're dating someone. You're like, man, what if they're just like crazy? Right. And then if I do the littlest thing, they'll kill me in my sleep or something, or they'll like watch me sleep for hours in the corner like a creep.
Yeah, that was
one of the, that was also
that scene.
Yeah.
I liked how they did that because I was looking in the corner. And I'm like,
I saw her immediately.
I was like, I see something there, but is that her? Or is that like a jacket hanging up or something? Like,
dude, that fucking weird shuffle she did back into the room with the flower pot in front of her face.
Did you see when he comes back into the house and he doesn't see her right away, and she's like,
yes.
So what I think
got me. I was like,
well, that happened like three or four
times. Yeah. And then she walks backwards.
Yes, I think the way they do it is by reversing. I think that's how they were filming those. Was that she would do the motion in reverse, and then when you reverse it, it looks extra strange.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the choppiness and the flow, I think it was reverse. I think
that's what makes it so unnerving too to watch. It's because it's not like natural. It's very like
exactly. I think it was a reverse clip because if she did that just normally,
no, not a chance in hell.
I was like, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Good actress. Yeah. She was a good actress anyway.
She was a great actress.
The hell out of that.
She killed it.
Playing like, well, I guess she technically did play two different parts.
And
yeah,
poor Sarah, dude.
Oh my god!
She
I
was
know.
nothing but
Finally got
genuine
into
the
school she
whole
wanted to
time.
go
I
to.
knew when he was opening it, he was going to
Dude.
say congratulations.
Yeah.
How tragic.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it's one of the more memorable like death scenes, and
But we all know it was all Bear's fault.
And
Oh, yeah.
also,
Yeah.
I think that if Bear had never made that stupid wish, if he had found out once and for all that Nikki really just was friend zoning him and she was fucking Ian, I think
what
that
a terrible friend
dude,
Ian was.
Yeah,
That's
Ian sucks.
awful.
I think dude could have made a serious connection with Sarah. Like they clearly had chemistry
For sure.
when they
Yeah.
were alone together. They could have been something cool.
I was sitting to the left of you.
Well, you got to.
Yeah, I like
The
that.
fact that Ian at the beginning of the movie was all like, ask her out. Come on. When are you going to ask her out? Blah, 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 blah. And he was just on the side, like, doing it with her the whole time. Is
Yep.
crazy.
Like he was it's just like one of the rules of power that I've been reading.
Reading. He read it just now,
yeah,
5 minutes ago.
Just listen.
40 minutes ago, my bad.
Thanks for fucking raining on my parade.
Sorry, you were supposed to be reading the past week.
Oh, Jacob's a bookworm. He's a genius. He knows more than any of us about reading and words.
Listen,
Can you name 3 books?
Can I name 3
Let's hear the
books?
3 books.
Percy Jackson,
To Kill
Sea
a
of
Mockingbird,
Monsters.
The Hatchet,
I'm pretty sure it's just called
Spiderwick
Hatchet.
Chronicles.
Spiderwick Chronicles. Go.
There's a
It's
book
a
too.
book
I
series.
never read the book.
Oh, I know more books than you. Oh. Anyway, this
Uh,
reminds me of another rule of
Leviticus.
power. That's a movie and a book in the Bible.
Oh, just said book.
It's because I know books, dude. I'm
I
so
literally started laughing as you said that.
I'm so fucking well
I
read.
love books. The children love the book.
Speaking of Leviticus, what else is coming out here soon? We've got
Backrooms.
Backrooms, Leviticus.
I know you guys aren't like big into Marvel, but I am excited for Doomsday.
It's not that I'm not big into Marvel. I just am so not caught up
Yeah.
that I don't really know
I'm
what's
not even
going
caught
on. I
up
never
either.
even saw
I'm just
Endgame.
excited because what we're getting all of the Fox X-Men are coming back, like some of them at least, and then we're getting Avengers, I guess, are coming back too. But I'm just excited to see what they do with it. It's weird. Robert Downey Jr. is
It's
coming
playing
back.
Doom.
I'm
Yeah.
really getting sick of maybe not Marvel by itself, but every time there's a Marvel movie coming out, they say it way too early, and then all the crazy Marvel fans, no offense to Marvel fans, not that you guys aren't cool,
I
but
like Marvel.
they all come up with so many different
Theories?
and they try
I hate
to
that
like
too.
I like
try
that.
to
You guys don't like that?
just dissect the dichotomy of the movie months and months and months and years before it even comes out.
Okay.
And then when it comes out, it's so
Okay,
underwhelming.
what my problem is with theories is exactly that. You build yourself up to this point where, like, no matter what you see, you're going to be a little bit disappointed
It's fair.
because you are hearing the best ideas and you're also hearing the worst. Like,
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, that's better than I thought. Oh, that's worse than I thought. So you're always going to be kind of. So what I've been doing is I've been kind of ignoring everybody's theories on everything I watch. Any show, movie, I don't even like. I will watch like the first trailer. I will not watch it again. I like going into a movie blind.
Yeah, I do too.
I don't want to hear, oh, this is going to be based off this comic, which means there's a chance we're going to see this guy. And this guy, he's the reason that this happens. And you're like, well, now I know what might happen in the movie.
Yeah, but
And
it
I
might
get
not.
it's to make
But
you
I get
excited.
what you're saying, but like I enjoy the discourse of like
I enjoy talking and theorizing with other people, but the people I'm usually doing it with don't really know exactly what's going to happen. It's just fun to theorize.
So you're talking
neither
about
does
like
anybody,
the
Except for the people making it, but they're not going to tell you.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's more fun to theorize with others than to listen to other people's theories, like other people online. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm having a conversation.
you're
where
talking
I'm
about like
theorizing.
watching the Instagram reel with
Yeah.
1.2 million
exactly.
views that like versus us three sitting
Yeah.
here discussing.
what I mean,
Right,
yeah.
right,
Because
right,
no matter
right.
what, the hype always outweighs the movie itself. For almost every time. For Marvel movies, anyway. I think the hype always outweighs. So no matter what you do, like,
You really think that?
Shout out to new
Most
rock
of the
stars
time.
who thought Mephisto was going to be coming to Marvel for 5 years, and it never did. They were like, Mephisto's coming here.
and now
Mephisto's going to be here. Never showed up until like 5 years
and
later.
this is another thing. Now what are they going to do? Because if they bring Mephisto in
They
now,
did, though.
everyone's burned out.
They did bring in Mephisto, and it was just like,
Are people
Oh,
burned out, or are they
well-
like overly, like potentially overly like hyped for
that's
it?
exactly what it is. The overhype.
But it's isn't that good?
But
No,
if there's
it's disappointing.
overhype, it's
How is that? It would be disappointing if it was
'Cause then
burnt out.
They never do anything with it. The problem is you're hearing, oh, let's say I go see the new Doomsday and Robert Downey Jr. comes up as Robert Downey Jr. comes up as Doctor Doom, and you're like, it's me, Doctor Doom, and then he just dies. That's like, oh,
Right,
I was so hyped to see it, and he dies in the first
Okay, but
5
that's a
minutes.
completely different scenario where Marvel makes a fucking really stupid
But
decision
let's
to like.
say that. Like, let's say that.
yeah. But would the decision
ex-
have been as stupid were it not for the hype? Because
Yes,
if
because
people aren't
the
playing
movie
it
is
up-
called Doomsday, and then if the titular
finally.
character
Okay.
shows up and
That
dies right
example.
away,
that example maybe isn't
The best.
frame again. That example maybe isn't the best.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is if you have a storyline planned, right, as the director or whoever writes the writer, if you have something planned out, just because a group of fans take one aspect of the story and hype it up to the max, and so everybody's ready for this thing that is an expectation now. So whatever you wrote before could disappoint them, and it's not to any fault of the writers because it's just the overhype of like one aspect of the movie.
I think
Does
that
that make
happens
sense?
sometimes. I do think
I
that
would
happens
agree.
sometimes.
I would agree it doesn't happen all the time.
I think on the flip side of that,
It does
the
build hype.
discourse exactly it
does.
builds hype. It gets people talking about the movie.
Yeah.
It gets people to the point where they, if for no other reason, want to show up just to see if
Yeah.
this thing is going to happen.
That's a
there's
good point.
I think there's a reason I don't like the series anymore. And it was the whole, I know you haven't seen Star Wars, and this is about the sequel trilogy, so you won't even care because the sequel trilogy sucks. So
That sucks so bad.
there was this theory that Snoke was the Emperor from the original trilogy. I'm just saying, or Emperor,
I know.
you know what I mean.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, the Emperor from the original trilogy. And everybody was like, that would be really cool, or whatever.
Do you agree? Would it be really cool?
It would have been cool. I think it would have been interesting. It would have been a unique take on what could have happened. The thing is, what we got was Snoke was, what was he?
He's just some fuck.
He was
Like,
literally the most
he's
random.
just-
I think he was a clone, or he was like a built clone. It was something awful.
It was dumb.
Okay,
He
but
was
let
just
me
some
let me
random
ask you this
fucker.
though: is that a problem of somebody having this idea and everybody being like, "Damn, that would be really cool," or is that a problem of the writers fucked up here because
That's
No.
a problem of lazy writing. And I'm going to tell you, there's many examples of lazy writing within the
Star Wars.
prequel trilogy
Prequel or sequel?
or sequel
I
trilogy.
know, I'm like, you're a
with-
big prequel lover.
No, no,
what
no.
are you talking
I'm
about?
sorry. I misspoke. I love the prequels. But it's just a matter of lazy writing.
that's the point
Like,
I think that's the point I'm trying to make because like
Prequels?
it's almost this the thing with like you know how
Prequels.
like when you like are scrolling reels or whatever you'll see a video and before you even click the comments you'll have a thought pop into your head and 9 times out of 10 what's the top comment?
Same one.
It's the same thing that you thought.
Yeah.
Is the problem that like I feel like it's a similar thing with like a movie trailer comes out, they introduce I mean, I guess Marvel is a good example because people know like things that Marvel could do based on comics and like all that stuff from back in the day. But like if a Marvel trailer comes out and people start theorizing and like hypothesizing, you know, online amongst their friends, whatever, and there's one big idea that makes it through all the conversation, and then that's like usually the one that you see a lot is like
Yeah.
this big idea. Is the problem that people are theorizing instead of just waiting to watch the movie, or is the problem that the writers weren't thinking ahead enough to be like, this is what people want here?
It comes down to how many people are writing. Let's say I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it's 200 people writing versus the 6 million fans.
Right, but it's your
It's the
job.
number.
It's your job to know your 6 million fans.
That's why I
let
gave
me
you
speak.
200.
Let me speak in defense of the writers. While it is your job to know what catches people's attention, what you don't know is what's going to catch on. And 9 times out of 10, like hit songs, for example. Most of the time, the artist that wrote that, they didn't know it was
They
going to be a
didn't
hit.
think it was gonna be
They
a
didn't
hit.
know that
Okay,
people would
that's
latch
different
onto
though.
it.
That's different though because
Same thing, I think, with movies and TV shows. I think that it's
Do you
while
think-
it's possible to take something like take a demographic of people and be like, I know what they will probably like and go for. That's possible, and I think people should do that. But I also think that it's pretty hard to tell what's going to catch on and blow up.
okay, I kind of agree, but I also kind of don't because a shit theory doesn't make it through. Like we could sit here and like watch a trailer and I could come up with some dumb theory
Yeah.
that like I could work myself up and be like, well, if this doesn't happen, then I'm going to be really pissed off because I would like to see this story go this way, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. The theories that make it through that everybody hears about are the ones that people are like,
That are most popular, that caught on.
they caught on, but they don't just catch on. They catch on for a reason.
Agreed.
Because it's either a good theory or because everybody's like, that's exactly what should happen. And then when it doesn't happen, obviously, yes, part of that is due to the fact that people are having discussion about like their theories for what's going to happen in the movie or whatever. I think 80% of the fault, though, goes to the people who were writing the script and were like, for whatever reason, not thinking that way about their source material.
I see what you're saying, but if that was the case for everything, and they wrote exactly how it should be, and then somebody theorized it, and it's the exact same thing, and now you read that or you listen to that theory, you're like, I like that theory. You go and see the movie, and the exact same thing plays out.
No, I agree. I
You'd
agree.
be like,
What a
I
rip
do.
off.
I
now
do
I'm
agree.
not ex-
I
now-
do agree. I
it
do
would
agree.
be overhyped.
But on the flip side of that, you go watch a movie. There's a popular theory that's going around. It doesn't happen, but the end or whatever is still really good.
Mhm.
People aren't going to be that upset.
You know,
Right.
I think
Which has
if-
happened. Which has
You know what's
happened.
interesting?
course,
The
yeah, of
Spider-Man
course it's
movie with
happened.
all three Spider-Men.
Yeah.
Great.
Because we all want to
Great.
see it.
And
anyway.
and that is an example. I'll say to the contrary of my point. That is an example where there was all kinds of theories and there was so much speculation on that to the point where I got sick of hearing it. And then I saw the movie and it was great. I loved it and I wasn't disappointed.
Yeah, because it was
So-
still good.
Right.
Right.
So,
So it's not just a thing of like, well, if this doesn't happen, I'm going to be pissed off. Usually what it is
yeah.
this didn't happen and what did happen sucked.
Yeah, but it's like it's a matter of can we replicate catching lightning in a bottle type thing, right? Because like certain things catch on, and it's like sometimes things catch on for unforeseen things that no one thinks about, and sometimes it's because it's like a popular idea, and most people cumulatively think this way. But to have the foresight to capture that is, I feel,
Hard.
That's a little bit unfair.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm just saying I think that when these things happen where like a theory catches on, I think it's more than theory catching on. I think what it is
I totally agree.
it's people have like, you can call it whatever you want. I think it's like people have like tapped into the way, not even necessarily what's going to make it the best movie, but usually like what's going to be the most exciting thing
What's
that could
give
happen
the
here.
people what
What's
they want.
exactly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
No,
also
I get
think-
you.
I also
I get
think
you.
the whole giving people what you want can get overused. Another example of
Yeah,
Star
because
Wars.
artist's intent. Whatever
I'll
happened
go back
artist's
to Star
intent.
Wars because I know a lot about Star Wars. In Star Wars, you go to, let's say, I know you don't like the Mando, and that's a great example. 95% of the Mando is just, oh, look, here's a droid, or here's a person from Clone Wars. Here's a
Yeah.
droid that you saw in only A New Hope. And you're like, I don't care.
Right, but are
That's fan
people
service.
eating right? But are people eating it up?
No.
Yes.
Okay, so then
some
it's
people
not.
are.
Wait,
Some people are.
Well, and
eating
I
it
was
up.
just gonna say, I'm gonna say
Well, I'm
something
not.
good about
I
the
can't stand
Mandalorian
it.
because I don't like the Mandalorian. Never have been able to stand it. As an old Star Wars fan who's loved Star Wars for
I
years,
like the Mando.
But
I
I
like the
will
first 2 or 3
say-
seasons.
there was a lot of people that probably otherwise wouldn't have been Star Wars fans had it not been for the Mandalorian. There's a lot of people, like my mom, never gave a shit about Star Wars, but she's like Baby Yoda, blah, blah, even though his name's not Yoda, it's actually Grogu.
Right. Okay, but
But-
that's now a conversation of like a normie versus an actual fan.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, they're adopting newer fans,
Right.
While
which is,
also,
I think, a
while
good thing to
also
do.
to engage the older fans, they're doing fan service by being like with the droid. Or
But
the,
that's like cheap fan service, right?
exactly. But that's
Right.
like, what are you expecting for fan service?
Well, when we're talking about like things that people are theorizing about, people aren't theorizing about fan service. I
Okay.
wouldn't say fan service is cheap, in my opinion.
I
Like
agree.
it's real easy to like throw in a character from like 20 years ago and be like, look who's back. Don't you love it? Like it's pretty cheap. Versus something where it's like you have like the outline for a story, you don't know exactly what's going to happen as the fans.
Yeah.
You're not going to theorize like maybe this droid will show up. Like that's not really like what I'm talking about.
It's kind of like something you add in just to give them a little pizzazz.
Like a little thing that's going to get people to like clap for a second. Like
let me pose a differing example to you. So when the Sonic movie was going to come out, remember the
initial design
images of and everybody on the internet was like, "Fuck you! You better change it, or I'm not seeing it." And then they gave the fans what they wanted, and it turns out the movie was still garbage. I hated that movie.
True. Well,
I thought it was
actually,
garbage.
I didn't see it. However,
it wasn't funny, and I granted.
Don't you think it would have been a lot fucking worse if they had stuck with the initial design? And here's the other thing.
You know what's also funny? Do you think you would have seen it in the first place if it wasn't for that terrible?
See, that's the other thing. There were theories going around that talking about theories. There were theories going around that they initially put out that thing to generate discourse, and then very
how many
quickly
people they could engage.
It was a very high res model. That's like
it was weird. It was like Uncanny Valley Sonic. Like
it was almost like the design for the Michael Bay Transformers.
Oh,
how
I
it just like
those movies,
strayed so far. We're not going to get into that. I had to say
we should watch at some point.
We should absolutely. I love those movies.
Yeah.
How many are there?
I think there's 3 Michael Bay ones. I think.
Michael Bay? You would know the most out of those, Jacob.
Why would I know that?
Because you actually care about Transformers.
A little bit.
Oh.
A little bit.
See, now so what I'm hearing is your opinion on it doesn't matter.
Marcus.
I know Marcus.
Marcus was leading that conversation.
Adamant, and I'm not saying I don't agree because I think the designs for the like how they look in the non-Michael Bay movies superior, and I like those movies.
Yeah, but that's too much editing for me. All right, we're back and we're gone at the same time. This is the end of the podcast.
Follow us on Instagram at Down in Front Pod.
And follow us on Letterboxd. Beau, plug your Letterboxd.
BeauStJohn, BeauStJohn.
I'm pretty sure mine is Brax52. I'm gonna put it on screen. I put yours on screen last time too.
And my Letterboxd is uglycentipede, no capital letters.
And that's it for the podcast. Don't sit in the front.